Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Need some salt.
Forza Horizon 5.
Need some salt.
Halo Infinite.
Not bad. Need salt. Are you out your damn mind?
Yup, here I am. It finally fucking happened, just as I predicted it would. The DEA finally caught up to my ass right at the goddamn border of Baja California, confiscating all the Mexican-grade pony salt that I had harvested while I was over there, because it turns out that the husky pup I brought with me was an undercover agent. And here I was convinced that I had a new friend that I had made in Mexico. Of all the good things that could have happened from that trip, it ended up being my downfall. And I can't rely on Charlie for any sort of backup because he seems to be scared of the goddamn pup. It looks like our pony salt game may have suddenly come to an end, my friends. You know, I expected more of you guys, but that was a mistake. Instead of coming to help me, you guys went and pillaged what was left of my salt from my goddamn trailer. Not giving a single shit, you then flocked over to inferior salt from Alex out of desperation. And now here you are, visiting me in my cell, hoping I have a little bit of it, and you don't care about my situation or how long I'm gonna be doing time. I mean, y'all just killed 3 prison guards to get in here, so you can go ahead and have all the remaining Mexican-grade pony salt I snuck up my ass.
You want the baby boy's hole, you gotta pay the troll toll. You gotta pay the troll toll to get in.
You guys have ruined my life enough as it is. We're done, okay? We're done.
We're done when I say we're done.
Or, for the sake of you not beheading me with that prison shank you're holding in your hand, how about I go ahead and start cooking some salt for you right now? Or would you guys actually like to hear a little bit about my trip in Tijuana? Oh no, okay, yeah, that's fine. With the pony salt, let's move on. So after 6 long years and a supposed $600 million budget, Halo Infinite finally released to overall praise and positive reception. And the PlayStation fanboys in all their pride, they just couldn't let it go. They could not allow Halo to catch a single dub. After all, they spent years putting all their stock into hating on this game, so they weren't gonna let it slide. In a very pathetic and desperate attempt to subvert positive reception, Ponies went and started to review bomb Halo Infinite. And you know what? Reading these comments is a lot easier said than done. That's why I require a whippet, because it'll somehow lessen the amount of damage I'll be receiving by reading these comments. Yeah. Fuck this. Fuck everyone.
My life is nothing but a comedy to you guys. All the damage I'm doing to myself.
The worst game of 2021! I don't see the 6 years of development in that. The only good thing is that it's free on Game Pass and we don't have to pay. I don't know where Halo game is going. One of biggest shooter of all time is ruined by 343 Industries. Not the Halo experience I was expecting. The multiplayer was pretty decent, but got boring fast. The campaign had really bland level design, and the outdoor open world looked good, but outdated. And although the mechanics kinda saved it from being terrible, it just feels like a poorly executed version of Destiny. Not worth buying, but you can give it a try in Game Pass. It's as bad as Battlefield 2042.
And if you look at our card, it is different in the sense that it is I am autistic.
Yes.
Not this person is.
Yes.
We've made it more personalised. This has been devised by autistic people for autistic people.
Halo Infinite's broken and dysfunctional game system just proves how much Xbox needed to buy Bethesda's catalog to stay afloat out this generation. Don't waste your time playing it. What they can't sell, well, they give away on Game Pass. One of the worst shooter games I've ever played. The shooting mechanic feels outdated and it's not satisfying. I didn't finish the campaign, but the multiplayer is so bad. Like, it's the same multiplayer of all Halo history, but now you can run like Halo 5. It's a boring multiplayer, but it's free.
I can't read these words. They're not in the right order. It's good. I think you might be dyslexic, bro.
Terrible game. This is probably Halo 7. Meanwhile, Halo 6 doesn't exist, and there's a mega hole after the story of Halo 5. Gameplay is terrible, repetitive and boring story, with a nearly impossible section, and bosses even heroic difficulty. Oh, and multiplayer with impossibility to select the game and mode, and full of microtransaction is the death of the franchise. It can be regarded as another 2077, which brought a lot of media to create public opinion, but the quality is almost the same as that of the version a year ago.
I'm pretty sure the buzzing in my ears after taking a whippet is supposed to be gone in under 20 seconds, right? Whatever. Being perma-fried is way better than being a perma-pony. At least you still have a chance of getting some pussy when you're perma-fried. Would you take a look at all of these zeros? And would you also take a look at the dates of all of these accounts? All created the day Halo Infinite launched. And it's twice as sad when you start to notice that, well, a lot of these come from one person making as many accounts as they possibly can to try and bring down Halo's user review score. You begin to wonder exactly how little games they must have to have that much free time on their hands, because they went on to host a 10-hour-long Twitter space to cope with the news. Keep that in mind. These guys sat down for what was the average length of a PlayStation exclusive to bitch and cope and whine about Halo. Then they went out of their way to create as many accounts as they could to review bomb it. And you know what? It really breaks my heart to see all that hard work they put into review bombing it go down the toilet. Because less than a few hours after the initial review bomb, the game began receiving overwhelmingly positive reviews from users, and before you knew it, the user review score shot right back up to an 8. It's a war of autism at its finest. Because the other side decided that they would give overwhelming praise and positive reviews to counter the negative reviews, so you begin to wonder who's actually being fucking honest here. I mean, yeah, the game has its problems, it's not perfect by any means, and there are legit criticisms, but without there being a way of tracking any of these people's time in the game, it's all completely meaningless. That's why I went over to the Steam page, and there you can see that the game is positively received and recommended by most people. Look at me having to go to a PC marketplace to avoid console war based reviews. I fucking hate gaming. Oh my god, I hate it so much. You see, PlayStation fanboys are still haunted by the fact that The Last of Us 2 received a huge chunk of negative user reviews, and they're still looking to get their revenge for that. But unfortunately, they didn't get what they wanted, so they put all their faith into the critics, and sadly, they seem to like Halo just as much as everybody else does, even in its current state. And being unable to cope with that harsh reality, they quickly took to Twitter to attack anybody that congratulated Halo for a mere 87 on MetaCritic. See, I never thought I would see ponies throw a fit for anything below 90 plus, but Halo's been living so goddamn rent-free in their heads, they just can't let it slide. The Halo Infinite campaign is the closest to perfection in 20 years.
Why am I not surprised about who wrote the Washington Post review?
What? Are you fucking for real? Is this account with their creepy ass picture trying to suggest that Gene Park is an Xbox fanboy? The Gene Park, the same one who wrote an article defending The Last of Us 2? He's your guy! He's one of you! What are you doing? Is it really a problem for him to say that Halo's campaign is that good? You know, I really love to see it when industry insiders get a little peek towards the shit people are saying about them and decide, you know what? I think today would be a good day for fucking violence. Cause that's exactly what Gene did. Ratio infinite.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
Doc, about getting your back blown the fuck out. I do not know where this person gets the balls to show their face on Twitter again after a horrendous ratio like that, but now I'm looking forward to giving them more. I guess some people just exist in life to get ratioed.
This Team Park acting weird lately. Not about his Halo Infinite review. It's about his latest tweets about PlayStation and Xbox. The checks have gone through, it seems like.
No, stop. All right, this is the part where you stay the fuck down, okay? Just take your L, walk away, don't even bother coming back. It's not going to work out in your favor, I promise you. I can reassure you. I've seen it happen countless times.
One game cost over 600 million and 8 years to make, and the other cost just 3 million and 2 years to make. That one extra MetaCritic point has to be the most expensive in history. Huge L.
If only this man would invest into his own goddamn education as much as he does with the console wars, then perhaps he could be doing greater things in life. But instead, here he is. I mean, it's a 1 point difference, but we're talking about a guy who is praising and worshiping Returnal, a game with the same exact fucking score, and he was calling that Game of the Year. I mean, never mind the fact that the game only sold about, 500,000 copies, but was hyped up to be a system seller? Look, I get it. You spent the better part of 2 years talking about how this game would fail and be an utter disappointment. But now that it's released and it's over, you don't have to double down, J-Dub. Do better things. Go get rid of that yee-ass haircut. Try and complete the 5th grade. Because I know you think you can pick up education in a Twitter space, but trust me, the only thing you've been picking up from those is autism.
This nigga sound dumb as hell, bro.
Yo, be stable. Wipe
No,
your mouth.
nigga, I sound like I have a different opinion on a game that you fucking like, fuck nigga.
Bro, you just said they pay for reviews. Where's your proof of that? You just saying
What
bullshit.
the fuck is you talking about, nigga? Have you seen these reviews? Have you seen these fucking reviews, dumbass nigga?
You got paid. Where the money at?
Quit playing like you don't know what the fuck is going on, my nigga.
Would you just listen to that? A grown-ass man on the verge of tears in denial about this game receiving good reviews. And all that is asked of him is to please provide proof. Provide evidence that it's just a bunch of paid shills. And what does he do? He pulls off a goddamn flat earther on us. Just take a look all around you. Don't you see? Can't you see? The writing's on the wall. It's all paid. It's obvious. So obvious that the game didn't receive a perfect 100. These guys are losing their shit over an 87. Motherfucker was distorting his own mic's audio over how enraged he is about that.
Wait, sick. Let me see
Nah,
it.
it ain't no sick nothing, nigga. I don't even want to have this conversation with you, my boy. I don't even want to have this conversation with you, nigga.
Yeah, this conversation that I basically started, I don't want to have it, okay? It's not my fault I brought it up and had nothing to back it up with. That's not on me, okay? Who do you think I am? A respectable person?
Because you saying bullshit.
We are not gonna sit here and talk around in circles, bro, because that's all that's gonna happen. We are not gonna talk in circles, my nigga. You might as well fucking drop it, because we not finna talk in circles, my nigga. That's not what we finna do.
The reviews is paid off.
That's not what the fuck we finna do, my nigga.
Everything paid off, y'all.
Well, you know, you don't have to talk in circles if you just give them a straightforward answer to their basic question. How much of a little bitch do you have to be to run away from a conversation like that? Especially when you initiated it. You made the assumption, now you want to avoid the entire conversation because you know, deep down, it isn't true. You're just butthurt. You're salty that the game was so well received. I mean, honestly, an 87 isn't really much to brag about, to be quite honest, yet it means all the world to you guys. Now, you figure it couldn't get any worse for the ponies, that this be it. You know, the game reviewed well, a lot better than they were expecting it to. Time to take the L, pack it up, go home, try again next year. But then the Game Awards show happened, and although Halo did not qualify for Game of the Year, it did qualify for something a bit of a bigger deal for the ponies. And what was basically a landslide victory, Halo Infinite took the Player's Choice Award, and what was quite possibly one of the most one-sided votes I have ever seen.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
You know, this is basically the equivalent of gamers saying, hey, if it was up to us, this would actually be the real game of the year. And that's why it stings and hurts ponies so much, because we all felt that way about Ghost of Tsushima last year. It was up to the players to decide. It's their choice. Oh wait, no, apparently never mind. The players are wrong. They don't know what's good for them. Ponies know better. I mean, see, they could have voted for It Takes Two, Guardians of the Galaxy, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil, but no, they picked Halo over the actual winner of Game of the Year, which was It Takes Two. Never mind Ratchet and Clank, but don't worry, I also won't forget how they snubbed Psychonauts 2. Those goddamn bastards. Am I the only person in the world that loves that game? I feel like I am. Anyways, it was already bad enough that the game was received well by critics, but to be well received by the players? No, that's pushing it too far. Congratulations to Halo Infinite, winner of the Player's Choice Award, a 100% fan-voted award at the Game Awards.
You guys really invalidated these awards with this one. It's clearly a disproportionate amount of Xbox players voting rather than playing games. Go figure. For a game that released yesterday midday to win the Player's Choice Award.
No, that's not fair. That's not fair. There was time now. Oh, it's not fair. Oh.
They what? They invalidated this award by allowing people to actually vote for what they wanted to win? You know, the only award that's actually validated by the audience themselves? Are you fucking retarded? And I don't exactly get how it could be a disproportionate amount of Xbox players when there's supposedly way more PlayStation gamers out there. There should be absolutely no excuse as to why Ratchet and Clank didn't take this award. The only one I can think of is PlayStation gamers may have enjoyed Halo just as much as everyone else. Oof, I know, that hurts, but that's closer to the truth than suggesting it's all rigged by Xbox players.
Imagine a half-baked last-gen game winning the Choice Award. Community is fucked.
Well, good sir, if it's such a problem, and you wanted a true quote-unquote next-gen game to win it, why didn't all of you go and vote for Ratchet and Clank? Or, better yet, Returnal, you know, that goddamn system seller. If you don't want half-baked last-gen games winning, you should have all voted. But instead, it seems you guys all decided to pull off a MAGA 2020. Next thing you know, we're gonna see PlayStation fanboys crying and praying in front of Sony headquarters.
So, an incomplete game won the Player's Choice Award before anyone had the time to play through the campaign? Guess that means Metroid Dread is the actual winner.
Oh, well, what a pleasant surprise. Looks like we have a Nintendo fanboy in here. They're even more delusional than PlayStation fanboys, believe it or not. See, if Metroid really did win, then people would have voted for it to win. But instead, it and every other game in this poll got stomped the fuck out by Halo. I mean, I can see where people's frustrations are coming from. There's a lot of things wrong with Halo, from its progression system, to a lack of playlists and modes, to no forge and no co-op. You'd figure this game wouldn't even be considered. Yet it still got voted for by the majority of people who voted in this poll. Perhaps, maybe, with all its flaws and incomplete state, it was a lot more fun and compelling than the majority of games that released for other people. A hard concept for many of us to grasp, I understand it. People vote for shit that makes me cringe all the time. But y'all really have no excuse here. If you really did care this much about the entire thing, all of you would have gone out and voted for Metroid Dread. But since you didn't, I guess it's fair to call you a sore loser.
As soon as I saw they magically snuck in Halo for the Player's Choice Award, I knew the award show was going downhill from there.
He knew very well What would happen if they put Halo as a nominee? It would blow the competition out the fucking water. Halo getting any sort of recognition is what was the turning point for him for this miserable awards show. Goddamn Microsoft just can't allow this man to live in peace.
So why did you vote for Halo Infinite to win the Player's Choice Game of the Year at the Game Awards, even though the campaign wasn't out yet?
Well, I don't exactly know why this guy is solely calling out Xbox guys, because there was a shit ton of PC guys who also voted here. Let's keep that in mind. It's not just an Xbox game. We also have to consider PlayStation guys that quite possibly voted for Halo as well. I mean, just sit and think for a second. Maybe that quote-unquote beta multiplayer that people got to play for several weeks before leading up to the voting was more than enough for them to choose it over other games that are actually complete. I mean, I don't really like the concept myself, but if you give players a choice and they choose this, then the answer should be quite obvious to you. They liked it more than everything else. And as much as you want to believe that it's just a bunch of Xbox guys, the truth is that it was quite possibly the best thing even PlayStation guys played this year. What a wonderful way to end the year, with a massive L for the PlayStation fanboys. After having spent all their free time trying to trash Halo, it turns out to be the players' #1 choice. But hey, I do have good news for them. The worst of the year's finally over, and next year is right around the corner. So now the ponies really will have no excuse to not be playing their own goddamn games, and yet somehow I'm still expecting them to spend the majority of their time in Twitter spaces and talking about Xbox products. And you know why I'm not looking forward to that? Because that means I'm gonna have to turn up the demand for pony salt, and I don't know if I can do it. I just got back from Tijuana, and look at the mess I'm in. Imprisoned and still being demanded to produce more salt for everyone. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't think I can do it. All the damage I did to my brain to provide you guys entertainment, and I barely got to 40k subs, and my reward for doing all of that was to just be a slave of yours. Look, I can hear prison guards on their way. You got your salt. I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna be busting in here in a few days from now for some more. So until then, why don't you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe if you so choose to. Get the fuck out of here, and I'll see you in the next video.
Fritango sucks ass.